everyone, Midori here from Ecamm Network. This is our Meet the Pros series, so we're back today with another great interview. So if you're joining us here live today, please leave a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd really love to hear from where you're at. And also, if you're interested in being part of this Meet the Pros series, where we interview people who are live streaming experts and who have had a lot of experience with this, are Ecamm Live customers, then definitely send us a Facebook message or send us an email, and we would really love to hear from you and to set up an interview for you. So today we have Kim Bultsma here with us. She is from A Cup of Content, and she is a coffee lover, just like me, aren't we all? And she is also a high-quality content creator and educator, and she's just really awesome. I've already had a chance to talk with her a little bit. So I'm going to bring her on. She is already on Skype, ready to go. So without further ado, hi, Kim.
Hey, Midori. How's it going?
Pretty good. It's great to talk to you.
I know. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, me too. I know I gave a little introduction, but I really want to hear from you about what you do and about your business. And so tell me all about yourself.
Sure. So I actually started my business. It's actually called Content a la Mode about
I'm so
5
sorry.
years ago now. No, it's okay. So my friend Lane and I always joke that we have multiple brand disorders, MBD.
Okay.
So it's always kind of interesting to explain it. I had actually started a content marketing business about 5 years ago called Content a la Mode, and it did really well. And what I found out was there were a lot of people out there who needed to learn how to do what I did for themselves because they were a small business, didn't have a budget to hire someone like me. So, I was a teacher for about 15 years and thought I should totally cash in on this idea. So I created A Cup of Content, which is an educational platform where people subscribe monthly, and then I teach them everything I know. So we have classes, we have weekly live sessions using Ecamm.
Yeah.
And it's great. And so that's kind of my two businesses, if you will. I've got the one where you can hire me to do it for you, or I've got the one where people subscribe and learn from me and do it for themselves.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about that progression from becoming a teacher to becoming sort of like a content creator and to educating people themselves. Like, did that just feel natural, or how did that sort of happen? Was it a gradual thing?
Right. So my degree is in English in secondary education. I taught high school English and journalism for about 10 years, taught at the college level for about 7. And I was burned out from teaching. I'll be honest. Yeah. I would say that I retired from teaching about, 7 years ago now. So, but I was just burned out. I was working 70, 80 hours a week. My daughter, which is a whole nother story, has had 2 kidney transplants. And wow. It was just easier for one of us, either my husband or myself, to be around in case something happened. Right. And so I branched out on my own. And while I was teaching journalism, I had to learn how to do social media and all that stuff because, if even 7 years ago, if you weren't online, your publication was dying. And we're still seeing it happen. So, I learned how to do all of that stuff. And with my writing background, it was super natural. And now that I've learned a ton about SEO, search engine optimization, VSO, voice search optimization, all that, I can take a lot of my creative writing skills and my technical writing skills and combine it with that to help businesses grow their online presence organically without paying. So
that is so cool. I love hearing stories like this. So then tell me about when you first then started to start to go live and to start to work on that, because it's kind of new for a lot of people and it's like a little intimidating. So tell us about how you sort of when you started to incorporate that.
Right. And so I've shot a lot of video for the courses that I create in A Cup of Content.
Okay.
But it was probably last year, really early last year, when I got into Ecamm, and I I decided that, if we're way past the point where we can just hang a shingle and people will show up. It's
Right.
like if you build it, they will come.
Right.
We're not there anymore, and we have to put ourselves out there. And so live streaming was a natural thing for me, just because I have a teaching background, and I can have a bullet pointed list off to the side, and I can get rolling with it. No sweat for me. And I know a lot of people have
Yeah.
a hard time with that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it has been the sole way that I have grown my business in the
Wow.
last year. And I took a little bit of a break in live streaming at the beginning of the year because I was speaking at conferences and things like that. But I'm back on, and the audience picks back up. They're sharing it. I just keep getting more and more business out of it, and it's just a matter of putting yourself out there.
Totally. So I know that you feel very comfortable because you're a teacher, and so and you had experience with, being on camera already. But was there any when you were first starting live, what were the kind of biggest lessons you learned, and something you can share with viewers about how what you learned from your kind of first maybe mistakes in going live?
I would probably say, I think everybody's got to figure out their own way of going live.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's, trying to have something to say at the beginning of every show. Hey, this is Kim Bultsma. We're back here with, a cup of content, whatever it is, and today we're going to be talking about this. And, that's how I've helped a lot of our members prepare themselves for going live too. Cause, you got to put yourself out there, but some people need to have it scripted, and that's just, their MO. But other people, they start to read from a screen, and then, they become really robotic. And so I tell people, even right now, I've got, a couple lists of things that you had sent to me off to the side of the screen, and I can always refer back to that. But I
Yeah.
have a bullet pointed lists are the best things, because if you're someone who can just look, need to have that little quick reminder of what you want to talk about, and you can go from there, then that's really all you need. And I think it makes your live flow, go a lot smoother, and it
Yeah.
opens it up to comments and questions.
Yeah, totally. And a recommendation I had too, and that I think that you're really good at this, and probably because you feel comfortable, is just to really be yourself and not worry too much about being absolutely totally perfect. So tell us a little bit about. You said you started using Ecamm Live last year. So tell us a little bit about that process and why you decided to kind of start using some extra software and not just sort of going live from your phone and stuff like that.
Right. I'm actually kind of a camera snob.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and honestly, I was like, I've got my little, regular USB webcam, and it's great, and that's fine. But for me, I have this background in photography and video and with journalism and stuff, and it's important for me to be able to do this where I've got good sound, I've got good video, I've got good audio, I can share my screen, I can
Yes.
share my phone. I mean,
Yeah.
that is, from an education standpoint, to be able to do that, I think it's super important. But yeah, I mean, the ability to go live like this and to have guests on was
Yeah.
super important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in Ecamm, I mean, you cannot beat it. And I'm not
Oh.
being paid for this advertisement,
Oh, thank you.
but really, I
Thank you so
love it.
much.
And
Yeah.
it always works, and it's simple to use, and there's a lot of really cool features that I can add to my lives. Like I can have my logo in it. I can share, like I said, my phone. I can switch cameras if I want to.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, we really, really appreciate hearing that. Are there any other sort of tools or anything that you use other than Ecamm Live to kind of help your business and to help when you're live streaming?
Yeah, actually there are. So since I use a Sony A7R III, now it's a full
Okay.
frame kind of spendy camera, and not everybody
Yeah.
needs to do that. I also have a Sony A6300 that I use. That's a crop sensor, and it does really well. But in order to hook up those kinds of things to your computer, you have to have extra software or
Right.
even hardware. So I use the Epiphan. Um, I wish I could reach around and pull it over, but it's a little green box that
Okay.
plugs into my computer and then HDMI's into my camera. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I can pull audio and video straight out of my camera.
That's really
So
cool.
that was kind of an extra thing I got. I also have a recording device that's connected to my camera.
Oh, okay.
And because for people who understand like um, how these kinds of cameras work, you only get like 25 minutes of recording time.
Okay.
And so have an external recording device that I can go live on this for an hour and a half
Oh,
and it
cool.
doesn't, or anything like that. So it's great. Not that I would recommend that unless you're like
That's your
trucking and all
interesting.
that.
Yeah, but I would love to connect with you afterwards and just get a list of the stuff that you're using, just so that I can leave it in a comment
For sure.
on this live, so that if people are curious about it, they can look into it. So I want to know a little bit about, you said that you've really used live streaming, live broadcasting to really improve your business. And I'm wondering, like, what kind of schedule are you on? How many days a week do you go live? Is it at a certain time? Or are you just sort of going live when you want to? I know you create your own content for, your business, but just sort of, when you're going live.
Right. And I found that consistency is really important when you go
Yeah.
live. So with my members in A Cup of Content, I go live at 10 a.m. Central every week.
Okay.
It's in the Facebook group, the private group. If I wanted to, I could, live stream it on within the membership as well on the
Right.
website. But so I always do that at 10 a.m. on Mondays. And then at 11 a.m., I go live to the public.
Okay.
And I had it 2 different days of the week, but for me, it was just easier for my kind of structure to be like, all right, let's get my live streaming done on Mondays. And,
Yeah.
it works really well that way. And speaking of doing that, you had asked about software.
Mhm.
ManyChat is something that I use. So I
Okay.
use chat bots for
Okay.
reminder stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
the fact that I can schedule my lives with Ecamm, I
Right.
can just go grab that URL. I can send out a little reminder. Hey, I'm going live right now and we're talking
Perfect.
about this, watch live, catch the replay or whatever. So,
Totally.
um, yeah, I mean, being consistent with it, I think is important. You could send an email out, you can share it on Facebook. I share it on LinkedIn even, and that gets me a
Oh,
ton of replays.
that's
So,
that's really cool.
utilizing all the different ways that you can repurpose a live stream and the fact that you can record it with Ecamm is great too, because I could cut that up, throw it over on YouTube, throw some
Yeah.
snippets up on Facebook as social media shares. I've already done the work. Now
Yeah.
I just got to kind of cut it up and share it.
That's really cool. So you do that. You do take the pre-recorded content and use it in other spots. So that's really, really good to
Yep.
hear. For those of you who might be new to Ecamm, we record all of your live broadcasts, and then you can edit them to be shorter clips and then share them in other areas. We actually have a member who I met at a conference this spring, and she does the similar thing. She goes live once a week and then shares the content on other platforms just pre-recorded. And she says it's really worked well for her.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we talked a little bit about tips for getting started, but is there anything else you'd like to share in that regard of just, I think that, like I said, for you, you're really confident, and just like anything, we talked about a little bit about, having kind of something set aside to kind of take a look at, but is there anything else that you can recommend to people who might be a little bit anxious or nervous about going live for the first time?
Yeah. And there's always that old people say, well, think of everybody naked out there. I'm like, that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't go there.
Don't
But
go there.
I have to tell you something. This is this is a bit of my theory, I think, on how marketing is going to be moving forward from like, this moment on, is that I think it's going to go into more relationship building.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, if you want to build a solid business and you are the face of your business, or you've got some people you can trust that can be the face of your business, being able to connect with them on a platform like this in a lot, where you can ask questions, you can answer questions. I think that is really how you will grow your business in the next probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Is, and if the people are buying you might be selling a product, you might be selling a service, but people buy you. And if
Yeah.
they're going to want to work with you. I mean, the product or the service comes along with it, but and that's why, customer service is so important these days. And so if we can put ourselves out there and show that, this is who you're working with. I may not be for everyone. I'm happy and I make silly jokes, but
Right.
but I'm honest. And if
Yeah.
I don't think something's going to work for you, it's not. But people need to see who they're going to work with. And I think that, that just stock photography is all fine and dandy, but having real people that they can connect with, I think is the bonus. And live video is probably the best way that you can do it.
Yeah, I really love that, talking about not just building your business, but building your community. And I definitely think that the more people can connect with you, and you're not just sort of a website or, just like a business name, but you're really a real human that they can connect with. I totally, totally agree. I think that's super awesome. So tell us, what else, anything else you want to share with us about your business so that people can, know more about you. I know that you, gave us some information in the beginning. Maybe people have joined us a little bit later. And so anything else that you want to share about that?
Probably one thing that I would, kind of knowing a little bit of a format of what you're going to do while you're going live is really important. Like I said, having some sort of an intro, maybe
Yeah.
naming your show.
Yeah.
The name of this is what
Meet the
Meet the
pros.
Pros.
Yeah. You're one of
Yeah,
the pros.
but yeah, I mean, having a name for it that people can remember, I think is really, really important. Um, and that's something I've done with a couple of content is name the show. Always say, hey, and I think just diving right into it is probably the best thing. I know there's a school of thought out there where, well, you should just sit and wait for people to come online and start, introduce. Well, no one wants to scrub through 10 minutes of you chatting with people,
Right.
and we're in such a fast paced world right now. I think it's really keeping it. I've found that the 20 to 30 minute mark is about the right length,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
people that will stay on and watch. Being consistent and letting them know and giving them the option to subscribe or whatever if they
Yeah.
can. What was one other thing I was going to say about that? The Oh yeah, don't be afraid to call people to action. I mean, you don't
Okay.
have to be, sleazy about it or slimy
Yeah.
or anything like that. But I mean, you're out there, and if you believe in what you're selling or what your product or service is, talk about it. And always at the end, I'm somehow incorporating. If you guys like what you're hearing, I've got a trial over at a cup of content. I'd love to have you check it out.
Right.
Whatever. But that's always something you've got to not be afraid to sell and
Yeah.
in your own way. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And also, like, if you have a great product or service, just like how we feel about Ecamm Live, like, you want people to know about it. I mean, you've created
Right.
something for someone, then you want them there. So that makes total sense, and I think that's really good advice for people to just, give a call to action for sure. Okay, so I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple people who joined us and left comments. So thank you to Michelle Williams. And she says that she's a teacher too.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, hi, Michelle. And then Tim Perry came online and said hello. And Brigetti came on. And she says that she's also a camera snob. So that was good. And then Michelle also said, I bought a MacBook Pro just so I could use Ecamm Live. Michelle says, hi, yes, hi. If you are new to Ecamm Live, then we do have a trial. So just like Kim's advice, I'm going to give you a call to action. We have a free 14-day trial. So head to ecammlive.com or ecamm.com and go to the Ecamm Live page and get our free trial. Tim Perry says Kim is awesome, and you are. Kim, before oh great. So before we sort of sign off here, why don't you just remind people where they can find you and find out more about you?
So in lieu of talking about putting yourself out there, in my multiple brand disorder. Where I'm going live right now is over on Kim Knows SEO.
Kim Knows SEO. Okay.
Yep, Kim knows SEO. I mean, I'm on A Cup of Content. I'm on Continental Mode. You're going to find me
Right.
all the places. But if you
Okay.
want to see my lives right now, they're over at Kim knows SEO because, like I said, what I found is people are buying me and then they're
Right.
choosing how they want to work with me. And
Totally.
so I'm kind of starting that, Kim knows SEO. You can either hire me on Continental Mode or work, learn from me at A Cup of Content. So,
All right. That's
yeah,
so
I mean, I'm
awesome.
on Instagram everywhere. If you're on it, I'm probably on it too.
Okay,
So
so you're easy to find, is what you're telling me.
very, yep.
Okay,
And shoot me a
awesome.
message. I'll tell you if you can't figure it out, just shoot me a message. I'll help you
Okay.
out. So
Okay, and I just want to say one thing. Vanessa Marie says, I am a client of Kim's, and yes, I agree. Kim is awesome.
oh, she's like my other mom.
Oh, that's so
That's what's so
nice.
great. I mean, that's what's great about I'm hearing these people. I know who these people are, but you build relationships with them, and they watch your live stuff, and they come and they support you,
Yeah.
no matter where you're at. And those are the kind of clients that you want to have, and
Yeah.
they're all clients and they're
Yeah.
friends too. So
And Michelle just said, sorry, people keep making comments. Michelle Williams said, awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to check out her website. So I already have some new people interested in your website. So again, thank you so much, Kim, for joining me. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, so I would love to have you on sometime again in the future when you have some new technology tips and tricks and all of that. And everyone go check out Kim. And that's all for now, guys. Thank you again so much for being here today and for joining us. Again, if you do want to be on this this Meet the Pros live broadcast, we'll doing it every Tuesday. And yeah, so just send us a Facebook message or send us an email, and we would love to talk to you very soon. Have a great Tuesday, everyone. Bye-bye.